This is The Perfect Show, a Jessie Hunt psychological suspense, Book 33. Written by Blake Pierce. Narrated by Debbie Soelter. Prologue. Tabitha Reynolds didn't want to get out of the shower. Even though the space heater was on and waiting for her once she opened the door and stepped onto the bath mat, it was warmer inside the cozy confines of the shower. It was late December, and Tabitha's Venice, California loft was notoriously drafty. Just the thought of leaving the bathroom and returning to the open living space made her shiver. Plus, for reasons she couldn't understand, her muscles felt strangely achy, and she wanted to give them a little more time to unclench. She knew that she shouldn't complain. After all, things were mostly going her way. Ever since the divorce 2 years ago, her professional life had improved dramatically. She decided to turn her love of fashion into a career and started her own blog before adding YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok channels. In less than 18 months, she'd gained over 2 million followers across her various platforms. That was how she'd been able to move out of her crappy Mar Vista apartment into this spacious, if admittedly chilly, loft apartment. Her personal life, however, had gotten a little messier. Just thinking about it made her chest tighten slightly, forcing her to inhale deeply to get in the necessary air. For a while, she wasn't even interested in dating again. And after she struck gold with her fashion commentary, she didn't feel like she could trust that any of the guys she met were sincere in their interest. Things with her 9-year-old daughter, Samantha, were also a little iffy of late. The girl had developed a bit of an attitude in recent months, and Tabitha couldn't help but wonder if it was because of the reduction in available mother-daughter time due to work. Unlike when she was a stay-at-home mom, this fashion thing was sometimes all-consuming, and Sammy often paid the price. Tabitha's eyes were suddenly a little blurry as she tried to blink back the tears that had emerged out of nowhere. She would have felt guilty about allowing this week's activities if it hadn't been on the books for weeks. According to the custody schedule, Sammy's father was supposed to have her next week after Christmas and through New Year's Day. But he'd specifically requested that they change it so he could take her camping and spend Christmas Day in Yosemite. Tabitha had conceded, even though she knew that Sammy wasn't super enthused to spend her Christmas in a tent surrounded by snow, and that she would hold on to her resentment for weeks after she returned. Since it was out of her hands, Tabitha tried to let it go. She also tried to remember that she was entitled to some downtime. That's why this evening, her friend Marnie would be coming over for a girls' night, comprised of good white wine and a double bill of crappy romantic comedies. She looked at the clock on the wall and saw that it was 4:30.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?